I saw this one from Yoko Taro, and I have to say, there is a lot of mixed reactions that came through my mind. But well, also it comes with good and bad stuff. Let's focus at least on the good if we see something at the end of this article. So Yoko Taro fears games developers will lose their jobs to AI. In 50 years, we may be treated like bards. For one case, I agree with what says here. Yokotaro Kotaro Shikoshi, Katsuka Kodaka, excuse me, Yokotaro, Kotaro. Yeah, they're different names. My mistake. Ushikoshi, and then Kasutaka Kodaka and Jiro Ishii discussed the effect AI technology advancement could have on game development. So in recent Famitsu interview, Japanese games creators famous for their storytelling like Yoko Taro, Nier, Kotaro Shikoshi, that did Zero Escape, Kasutaka Kodaka, that did Danganronpa, and Jiro Ishii, that did 428 The Shibuya Scramble, came together to chat about their respective approaches to game development and businesses. During their discussions about the evolution and current state of adventure games, a very important question was asked: what is the future of adventure games? Yokotaro and Uchikoshi thinks that the next step is their evolutions, for better or worse, by AI. So adventure games have reached their peak with Quantic Dream Detroit's Become Human, says Uchikoshi. Press X to dub, man. Sure, I'm not going to deny that this game got appreciated. Hell, even I remember them when I played Heavy Rain. And to be honest, I have back when in the day when I played those games from the PS3 era, I'm not going to deny that I actually can enjoy it, Heavy Rain, because I felt like that one was an step further in. Well, at least I know it was like an interactive movie, but at least did the good part of having a lot of variations on the scenes and consequences of said decisions, like a visual novel. Visual novels have that quite a lot. And we're looking at the 3D animations while the mock-upping, even going a little risque on that part. Well, if we had that kind one of development, but if it costed less than we are seeing right now with the pursuit of more realism and cinematographic concepts, that shit is destroying gaming. Well, they destroyed it, AAA. They choked themselves to death, chasing that trend. All the money they spent on bringing that for a little sales, a lot would filled with wokeness because we have been lied to with mm, the uglifying of female characters. Still, AI we have seen that they can do quite certain job, but sure with mistakes, and crashes. I'm not going to deny that, but I think AI is even heading to that route that is going to be at least near perfect, not as a replacement for humans, but as a tool to speed at work, which is that's the way I see AI. So continue on. Adventure games have reached the peak. Yeah, it's one of the titles that fascinated him the most, as he expressed that he wants to eventually create games similar to it, but in a way only a Japanese game developer could. This will me back signs from him, to be honest. Seeing admiration in Western games like this, at least if you say, the gameplay, the variations, maybe. But well, continue on. There are a lot of games I want to create. But with AI technology evolving at such a high speed, I hear that there is a possible that AI generated advertising games will become mainstream. In one case, yeah, but also those games, if they don't have something that outstand among themselves, they are just going to flop. They are just going to be like shovelware on Steam. That's the important part. So just like with that quote from Asmongold, the target consumer. He's not going to give a fuck if it's made with AI as long as it's good. But if all of that is AI slop, yeah, they are just going to hate it. That's how things works. So, well, Ushikoshi has previously talked about the possibility of mass-produced AI indie games flooding the market. In one case, yeah, that's true. However, while noting that the AI today still struggles to achieve quote-unquote outstanding writing on the level of humans, AI did better writing for Game of Thrones than George R. Martin did with that ending of the live-action adaptation. That should tell you not. He suggested that in the next 10 years, being competent in terms of originality and quote unquote human touch is one work will be crucial in order to stay ahead of AI technology. You can have the human touch, you can have it, but while also using AI, if you know what you're doing, you can succeed. Because at the end of the day, what's the most important thing that actual customers of video games want? If the game is fun to play, it is has elements that they like. For my case, like I already expressed many times, is the good-looking fan service. Or when it is not something like that, well, if you want me to bring like samples, like with gore games, horror games, the original Fatal Frame games, the original Silent Hill games, the original Resident Evil games, even to Código Veronica was fine by me, or the gore from original Resident Evil 4, or when it comes to like war games, you can have even fucking the original Black Ops game, the original Modern Warfare games, not the deboots, those are dog shit. With AI, sure, you can speed up process, but you have to also have something consistent. Consistency in your idea, consistency in what is actually objectively fun, than the target user is just going to be engaged for the most part. That for at least for my opinion, my 5 cents opinion, is what a game could be successful, even if it's just for the most part made with AI and little interaction from humans. But hey, don't get me wrong. Sure, some developers are, even if they are talented, they're going to get replaced if they are working with AAA, because AAA is the one that really just want to use AI as a whole, not paying anything, being the top dogs, and also lobbying to avoid anyone else rising from the bottom to the top. Yeah, that's the reality that we also have to be aware of. Well, hey, continue on. So this one, let's read this part. I too believe that game creators may lose their jobs because of AI. There is a chance that in 50 years game creators will be treated like bars. Yoko Taro added, alluding to the idea that game creators will become a thing of the past, still cringing on their art and telling stories like the old days despite the times changing. While it's also true, I don't think that game creators are going to entirely disappear. Because AI by itself, you can say, oh, bring me some Skyrim-like game. And if you only feed in the information of that with those words, I have to wonder if it's going to be something similar like that fucking dog shit of About, that even to this day Skyrim mops the floor with them. And I really just have a negative opinion of Bethesda games. That should tell you anything with that comparison. So, when asked whenever they believed that AI could imitate the bizarre worlds and stories full of twists and turns such as the ones they create, both Yoko Taro and Ishii agreed. On the other hand, Kodaka remarked that even if AI could quote-unquote imitate their work and art styles, it wouldn't be able to behave like a creator. He explains that, for example, AI could write a game scenario in the style of Da Vinci Lynch, but Lynch himself could in return deliberately change up his own style and it would still end up feeling authentic and Lynchian. Yoko Taro predicts that in the future, instead of imitating the styles of existing creators using AI, people may shift to using AI to generate brand new scenarios according to each player preferences, which is yeah, is also true. Even some I know some guys out there would wish to have the talent. They have the conviction, but they lack the talent, the time, uh, and effort to put that to all of that, all those things combined. And the most important part is time, and also making something that is not going to make you go homeless. But with AI, they could have that opportunity. But well, that also depends if AI gets to that point. So continue on. For example, in an adventure game, AI could generate a new route that is based on the way you play the game and caters exclusively to your personal tastes. However, Kodaka added that due to their semi-personalized nature, this will make games become less of a shared experience, meaning there probably wouldn't be any new worldwide hits. In one part, I kinda disagree. Because sure, just with my example with AI just producing shovelware, yeah, it's something that it hasn't stopped there. But also they can hit good just with what I said, consistency. Consistency is what holds anything within the most wild ideas or the most safest ones, as long as they are executed accordingly, correctly, and at least with preparation. But that's all my opinion in all of this. I wonder what you think in this one. Anyway, thanks for watching and please take care.